welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the Starbucks Barista or Barista cups. For those of you that don't know, Starbucks released a few holiday items. I think they do this every year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a big Starbucks fan, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they do it every year. This year they had a few different mugs and stuff like that, travel mugs, some ornaments and stuff like that. And one of them that was a big item that apparently seemed to catch everybody's eye was this Barista. It's like a glass cup, see-through cup of a shape of a bear. Kind of reminds me of like the honey. You guys know the honey jars of the bear one where you kind of squeeze the honey out. Kind of reminds me of one of those. It's like see-through, and it's got like a little hat on, or the cap looks like a hat, and it has Starbucks on it. It's a 20-ounce cup, and they were selling it for $30. I didn't think nothing of it. Okay, like I said, I don't really care for Starbucks or anything like that. But then my wife had told me that she had seen stories on TikTok of people like waiting out in line for like, a couple hours before the Starbucks opens to get these things. People were getting into like fights and stuff, and people were selling these on eBay for, like it's supposed to be $30. They were selling for like $200-$300 on eBay. Instantly, I'm thinking it's scalpers ruining it for everybody, like they do with Pokemon cards, like they do with figures and everything else. Because scalpers always seem to be the ones that ruin the hobby for everybody. So I was thinking it was that, and that's what I was planning on, talking about. Which I'm not saying it's not that, but one thing that I found very interesting was I saw an article on Fox News and on ABC. They were talking about it, which I thought was interesting because they usually don't talk much about this stuff. At least I don't think they do. I don't remember seeing anything about like the PlayStation 5 scalping or any other scalping with like figures and stuff like that. I don't remember them talking much about it. So the fact that it was on their websites and stuff like that, I found it kind of interesting. And as I started reading and started looking into it, I found out that there was very limited stock of these. Like some locations only got 2 of these cups, and there was people pissed off because some of the workers were buying them before the stores were even opening. And when I heard that, I started kind of shifting my focus from the scalpers to Starbucks, because it's one of those things. It's like, what are you guys doing? Only sending 2? So you're purposely trying to create problems. You're either trying to raise a false demand because you're not making enough of the product, which shame on you, because 2? You're only sending 2? That's kind of ridiculous, dude. There should be at least a handful of these going out. Come on. Like, that's just insane. Only 2 cups. And it's Starbucks. You can't tell me, like, you can't make these cups. Give me a break. So they're, like, almost like trying to create a false, desire, a false, sense of missing out, fear of missing out for this product. And this brings me to wonder a couple things. One, did they have such a limited stock on the other things that they were releasing? Because there was a few different mugs and ornaments and stuff like that. So I want to know, did they have limited stock on those? And 2, we're not even in December yet. So you're telling me that you couldn't have brought more of those in to try to have it, like, acceptable for the whole month of November and December? So, like, yeah, as much as I want to blame the scalpers, for buying them and putting them up at, double or triple the price, I blame Starbucks for this. This is ridiculous. You're a big company, and you can't give more of those cups.
Starbucks' newest holiday cup has proved to be a massive success and somewhat controversial.
Yeah, the 20-ounce Barista cup.
It's okay.
Sold out almost immediately. You'd think that's a good thing, but that's actually when the problem started for Starbucks.
Yeah, some disappointed fans claimed their Starbucks only had 2 of the cups, and they were bought by baristas. Starbucks admits demand for the Barista exceeds expectations, but it says it shipped more of the cups to stores
but anyway,
than any other holiday item.
Wow.
I have seen a lot of this on TikTok. People are fighting. People are lining up 2 hours
Over
before
these
their
things,
yes.
right?
2 hours before their Starbucks even opens to be the first in line to get it, but that's hard if there's only 2.
I just wonder
And
if this is kind of a false demand.
So right here on Fox News, they're saying that there was law enforcement that were called to some of these locations. Even in Texas, there was deputies called over a brawl. Give me a break, dude. This is crazy, dude. And like I said, as much as I want to blame scalpers and as much as I want to blame, like I can't fully blame the scalpers. If you only put in, like, why are you only sending 2 or 3, or a handful? Like, you should know better. Come on. You have the whole month of November, December to sell them. Like, come on, man. And then, some people may say, oh, grown adults. Well, you know what? Grown adults are allowed to spend their money the way they want. They can spend it any way they want. If they want a bear cup, they should be able to get a bear cup, okay? And they should be able to get it for $30, which is what, Starbucks has advertised. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. It really is. And then there's even reports of individuals refusing to leave the store and fighting. Like, what is going on? So this cup was released on November 6th. This is crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the item is not in demand. Clearly it is if people are fighting over it. But we don't know what the actual demand is. Because if you're only sending a handful of them to your store. Okay, let's say you send 5. Okay? Me, for example, my family is of 5. So let's say I showed up to Starbucks and my 3 kids wanted each one, my wife wanted one, and I wanted one. Well, there goes your whole stock to one family. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's like, it's just ridiculous to me. Like, why wouldn't you have way more of this made? And then you can actually see what the actual demand is for this. Because, like I said, there's people that want this so bad that they're going onto eBay and paying 4 times the price. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't do it, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't do it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think even the $30 for it is a little bit steep. But once again, I'm not a Starbucks fan. Some people might look at what I spend my money on and say the same thing. Like, oh, I wouldn't buy that crap either. So you know what? Everybody has their own thing. Everybody spends money their own way. But I just wanted to quickly touch on this because I thought this was crazy, dude. That a big company like Starbucks is almost like purposely shortchanging their barista mug, cup, whatever, and creating these nonsense problems. Like, I remember people being so pissed at, like, Sony for the PlayStation 5 not making enough of them. Nintendo, when they did the NES Classic, like the mini one, people were pissed at that. And with those situations, that was different. Like, there was people claiming that they walked into a Walmart and there was like 10 of them or whatever, 12 of them on the shelf, and then some guy comes and buys all of them. That's different. I absolutely understand that. If there's one person going or 2 people going and they're wiping it out, I understand. But when the company's only sending like 2 or 3, especially of an item like that, where, like, did you not get a feel that people would want these? Or, you know what I mean? Like, what was the story behind this? Like, why was there so few of these? That's so weird to me. Okay, so when you go on Google, all it says is Starbucks made so few barista cups because demand greatly exceeded their expectations, leading to them selling out almost immediately, despite shipping more of the cups than almost any other merchandise item this season. The coffee chain stated that the excitement for the product was so high that it sold out quickly, leading to a public apology for the disappointment. Okay, so they clearly made more of those than they made of the other products. That's what they're saying, right? So demand outstripped supply. So the thing is, it sold so fast though. Like, some of them, the stores were barely open. The demand of the barista cup was so high that it surpassed Starbucks' expectations. Limited initial stock. Many stores received only a small number of cups, with some reportedly getting as few as 1 or 2, which contributed to the rapid out. See, that's ridiculous though. See, it's if you send only 1 or 2 to a store, like I just said, you get a husband and wife, they buy them, there you go, done. And it's like, is it really the high demand? We don't know, because we only brought 2 to the store and 1 family bought it. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous, dude. Public apology. Starbucks apologized to customers, acknowledging that the excitement for the merchandise exceeded their expectations. So you only expected to sell 2 in each place? That's what you're telling me right now? And it says that they shipped out more of those than any other product. So if you sent 2 of those to a store, what'd you send to the other products then? Just 1? That's weird. And then, of course, there was a huge aftermarket, aftermarket sale. Of course there was, dude. Everyone bought those, the 1 or 2, and then sold. I mean, damn, you couldn't even get 10? You couldn't even just make at least 10 to each store, dude? 1 or 2? So, so as of right now, no, Starbucks does not have plans to restock the sold-out barista cups, as the company has confirmed they were a limited-time holiday item that sold out quickly due to high demand. Wow, that's crazy. So they're not even planning on making more. That's insulting, dude. I'm sorry, dude. That is crazy. New merchandise coming. Starbucks has promised more merchandise will be released, including other holiday-themed tumblers and a new collaboration with Roller Rabbit to help fill the gap. But that's not filling the gap. People want this bear. People want the bear. They're not asking for this other crap. I mean, I guess maybe they would, but they want the bear. Oh, here's something. So, alternative options. If you are looking for similar items, some stores like Walmart are reportedly selling lookalikes. You may also find the original cups on resale markets. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, actually, supposedly Walmart's selling lookalikes. So, that's interesting, huh? I just find this is kind of crazy to me, dude. But I just want to know what you guys think. Like, first of all, is this something that you would pick up? Second of all, what do you think about Starbucks only sending like 1 or 2 to stores? Like, am I the only one that thinks that this is absolutely ridiculous? That you're purposely super under shipping or under supplying stuff? Like, I understand companies want to have limited stock to not sit on overstock. I get it. But you really thought you were only going to sell 1 or 2 of these bears, these glass bears, in 2 months? Then why would you make it? I feel like that wouldn't even be, I don't know, like that would be a bad business practice, wouldn't it? Like, oh yeah, we have this great idea for a bear glass cup. We're only going to sell 1 or 2 per location though, so, limited stock. But then why even go down that route? Why even bother? Right? If you're only going to sell 1 or 2, I feel like they should have at least sent like, a dozen to each store, right? I guarantee if they had sent at least a dozen to each store, there would probably still be some of this going on, but I feel like it would be probably not even reported on. Like, I don't even think it would be on ABC News. I don't even think it would be on Fox, because I don't think they would either care, or it will be such a like a lower amount. Because I think part of the reason why these news stations ran with it is because the fact that there was people that literally waited out in front of their places before the place even opened, and then when it opened, it sold out. It's like, how did it sell out, dude? We know that you guys bought it yourselves, being the workers, and I don't know, is there 10 people that work at a Starbucks? I have no idea. So did they buy them all? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just ridiculous, man. I mean, Starbucks made an apology. They need to do more than just make an apology, in my opinion. They need to pump out more of these. I think that's the only way that you're going to really kind of, mend some of the disappointment that people feel. I think that if you just apologizing, I don't think is going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think they need to ship out more. I mean, you still have a month and a half, dude. I think you could do it. But whatever, it is what it is, guys. I mean, like I said, I want to hear what you guys think about this. Is this something? Have you seen these? Have you heard about these? And does this surprise you that this was yet another thing that is on eBay for 4 times the price? And should Starbucks be ashamed? I think it's absolutely ridiculous, man. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to do a quick little video on this. I heard about this, like I said, from my wife, and I thought this was absolutely insane. But anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.